Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning sa lahat ng mga nanonood ngayon sa Kumu, Facebook, YouTube, and more. So hi everyone, my name is Enrique Fausto and you're watching Money Lessons with FQ Mom and Sons. So for today, si FQ Mom ay naka-hiatus, no? Naka-break siya for the next few weeks. So I'll be the one taking over today's show. So first off, I'd like to say thank you and welcome to all of our viewers across our multiple streaming platforms. So we have about over 1,000 people on Kumu. So thank you, Marklin, for the halo-halo and for the others who are just coming in today. Hello rin sa lahat ng mga nandyan sa Facebook. Sina Rio, Iwagishi. So good morning from Tokyo. And our Christian, one of our regulars here at Money Lessons with FQ Mom and Sons. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we're actually very excited because our topic is very interesting, no? And just for everyone who's just here for the first time, what is FQ? FQ stands for Financial Intelligence Quotient. Ito yung tinatawag nating IQ, so the knowledge, as well as the EQ, the emotion or the behavior when it comes to managing one's personal finances. So kung pinapag-usapan natin ng pera, hindi lang yan basta alam mo kung paano mag-compute, no? Magaling sa math, di lang yun. No? But also being very good at ano ba yung mga emotions natin, dealing with our emotions, and more importantly, how do we deal with our behavior? Yan yung mga setting the right habits and all of these different things, no? So today we're actually, we're very excited for what's gonna happen and what we're gonna be talking about. So, Direct Sharon, if you can show the main title, no, for today's show. I'm sure it's something everyone's been much more familiar with, no? Ngayon that we're already in the pandemic. Today's topic is, does money grow on trees? No? So sino dyan yung mga marami ng parang naging hobbyists, no? Naging mga plantita, just put it into the comments. So thank you, Ray's, for welcoming us on the FQ Mom, on the Scene Zone channel. And today we'll be talking about does money grow on trees? Tas magkakwentuhan tayo, no, with what they call a plantrepreneur, meaning a plant entrepreneur, Dan Quiaoit, no? So without further ado, I'm going to be introducing our guest for today. And for all of those na may mga tanong tungkol sa mga plants, taking care of a plant, how do I choose a plant? Should I even be buying? Is taking care of a plant for me? Am I mature enough to take care of a plant? Or even running my own business? No, all of these questions and more pwede natin pag-usapan ngayon on this Kumu show. So who's our guest? No? Our guest, his name is Dan Quiaoit. So he's actually a good friend of mine from a long time now. We were actually in the same school in Xavier back in high school. And now he's someone who has already finished his degree and started working for a bit, no, as a civil engineer. So after graduating from UP, he became a civil engineer. And now he's pursued a new calling. No? He is now the plant entrepreneur, one of the founders of Gaan PH. It's a plant shop wherein you can really, it's actually just here sa may, malapit sa may White Plains, no? Gaan PH. And I'm very excited because he can talk a lot about plants, and it's really nice to see there's a growing community, of these plant lovers here in the Philippines. So without further ado, may I bring into the show Sir Dan Quiaoit.
Hey guys, what's up? Hello, hi guys on Kumu. Thanks Enrique for having me, and also a few moms and sons for having me. That's right. I am Enrique's batchmate in our high school. So in Xavier. So that was probably like around 10 years ago. Yeah, around 10 years ago.
Yeah, sakto ng 10 years.
2011.
Wala tayong anniversary to 10 years. Baka next time.
Yes.
But yeah, so ano muna, I guess just to give everyone just like a brief overview. Ano ba yung gaan? What is it about before we get into the story?
Again, Gaan is actually a planned concept store located in White Plains. We're along Katipunan Avenue near White Plains, Gate 2 Sarangay Gate. Um, just like what Enrique said, we're actually a plant store. So we sell indoor plants from rare to just regular plants as well. Currently, we also offer products that are not just plants, but also help support plants such as pots, soil media, and all of that. Right now as well, we also work with local communities in our different products, such as our pots. So we coordinate with local communities. We also have baskets that we
Mm.
also, we get our supplies from community. So we also help out in that regard. You can visit us anytime here in Katipunan. So
Yun.
you can also follow us in IG.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah.
yeah, we'll talk more about that. But I think what's really, I don't know, I guess the question a lot of people have is, paano ba nag-start to? Saan ba nanggaling to? Like, were you always into plants as a kid, or how did this start out?
Bank transfer, ma'am. Actually, my mother is actually a really big fan of plants. So
Mm-hmm.
while growing up, I was surrounded by plants inside our house. So we have two gardens in our house. So I think subconsciously it was ingrained in me, but I never really thought that I was going to get into plants.
Mm-hmm.
So as you mentioned a while ago, I was actually a civil engineer by profession. So once I graduated from UP Diliman, I practiced for around 4 years as a civil engineer. And then I thought na like parang this isn't for me. So I wanted something different. And then lo and behold, I took masters in Asian Institute of Management. So I took a business masters, and then I met my co-founders there. So Doc Glenn Angeles, Prim Paipon, and Ariel Silva. So Doc Glenn is an ophthalmologist. Prim Paipon
Mm.
is a development practitioner, and Ariel is actually a tech guy. So what do we all have in common? We all don't have anything to do with plants. So so I don't know why we decided to like group together and do this, but we actually did, and we're glad we did because we saw that there was a lot of potential in plants, especially during the pandemic, especially
Mm-hmm.
when everybody was clumped up inside their houses. We started to make a conscious effort of making the things around us beautiful. So one of the things that people did this was through plants and through collecting of plants. So ang dami naging plantitos and plantitas during the pandemic, and then we realized we should capture this market and create this Gaan brand. So that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much it.
Galing, no? So, ano mo, let's backtrack first, no? So, from Xavier, you went into UP Diliman, you took up civil engineering, no? Tama, that was the
Yes,
course.
yeah.
What made you say na, oh, parang gusto kong maging engineer? Was that something that, I don't know, you thought of from before, or wala lang, trip lang, or sabi nila, okay kasi maging engineer, ganyan.
Actually, growing up, we were really conditioned to really be to aspire for something for a profession. So, for example,
Mm-hmm.
doctor, engineer, lawyer. So
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't have any other options back then. I was just like, my dad's an engineer, my mom's a lawyer, so I probably should take engineering. So I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, just going through the motion, and I really didn't know what I want back then. So they just said, oh, just take engineering, and then I chose the most broad profession out there, which is civil engineering. So I took that. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then, so from your parents, parang, okay, yun yung parang medyo mas expected route, no? Sige, engineer, para
yeah,
safe
definitely
siya,
the expected
ganyan.
route.
Mm-mm. Oh, and then what made
Safe,
you say na
and then
ano, like,
parang medyo you have like a status because of the title. So
yeah,
I don't
yeah, I mean,
know.
you have it in
Maybe
your
that
name
attracted
pa,
me.
di ba?
Yeah, yeah.
So, what was the point na napaisip ka na, ay, parang hindi yata para sa akin tong engineering?
Actually, during college, like third or fourth year, I was really thinking, man, this isn't for me. But I
Ah,
was
that
doing
that
okay. But I really
five
thought like
five-year
this
course,
isn't
di
for
ba?
me. Pero
5-year course
yes,
yun, di ba?
5 year
Yung,
course. But I was so deep in, so I was like third year, and I was like, I can't. I
oo,
must
oo.
finish this.
Yeah.
So I powered through naman. Yeah.
Gets. Okay, okay. So talagang ano, no, talagang it made you think na, okay, I should really uh, get this, no? Okay, sorry, may nag may ng delivery. So when you went through this process of figuring out, no, what to do next. Ano yun, did you quit your job kaagad, or were you starting it out na on the side? How did that go? Hello? Ay,
Actually,
sorry, go
hello.
ahead. Go lang,
Yeah.
sige lang.
Actually, as I told you, I actually entered masters during my uh, I think around almost fifth year in engineering.
And
Almost
you
fifth
stopped
year by
working
now.
ba, or pinagsabay mo siya?
No, it was part time. It was actually pinagsabay ko siya, which is actually suicide.
Hmm.
So, and then
Talaga.
I realized when I went into masters, I figured out that there were so much more things that I wanted to learn, and then parang deep down I
Hmm.
was really into the hustle. Like I always had like side hustles. I would sell in Lazada. I would sell in Shopee. I would flip stuff in the marketplace. I would, you know,
Hmm.
I really had that entrepreneurial thing inside of me, and I just didn't know
Ah.
where to channel it properly for it to become like a legit business. So I was fortunate enough to have found friends and mentors in grad school. So I that would help me grow. So two of my partners are actually older now. So they have the
Hmm.
experience and the actual track record to be able to help me grow as
Si
well. So parang I was
oh, so
thinking all the tools are like here now, and then let's just do it.
ang galing, ang galing.
But it took a
Well, so
while. It took like almost a year and a half. Yeah, before I quit. Man,
mm,
like siguro at the latter half of my masters.
gets. So ano muna, let's just say hello lang to the people na nagbibigay ng mga
Oh, yeah.
halo-halo. Uy, si David
Hi.
nandito. It's Vid, oh.
Hi. What's up,
And
bro?
halo-halo, thanks, man. Si Christina, John Daniel Mayo, hello. Sino pa? Christopher
Hi.
Sauro, Chazelle, si Bell Pepper ni Donato. Dami mga halo-halo. All daw sabi ni David. So going back, no, so you were an engineer and then nag-AIM kang sabay, di ba? But
Yes.
throughout
At my
everything,
no,
sorry, go
throughout
lang.
everything, I had like side
Mga
hustles.
side.
So
Ano yung mga binibenta mo nun? Na, so kita-kita niya naman, very busy si, si Plantrepreneur Dan. May mga customers na nag-ano.
actually, we don't really, usually have walk-ins at this time, but it happens. Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
so,
Sorry,
yeah,
Enrique.
ano yung mga binibenta-benta mo dati? I mean, before you went into plants,
Oh,
mga side hustle. Ano yun? Ano yung mga yun?
early 2012, 28. Tama ba? Hindi ba 2012? Around when I started working around 2017, there was a fitness boom. So I sold sports
Mm.
equipment on Lazada. So that was successful naman. So
Mm.
and then afterwards I kind of went into like flipping vintage watches. So I actually do that sometimes then right now.
Up to now, meron pa rin mga watch
Vintage watches and also Seiko. So I'm really into those
yes.
types of stuff. So that luho are Japanese watches. And
Galing.
then and then I also did some lately lang crypto on the side. So I was pretty early,
Mm.
so I was fortunate enough. So I'm not sure if that's a very smart thing to do because I was just like, let's just experiment with my disposable income, of
Oh,
course.
basta naman
So
disposable, okay lang naman 'yun eh. Oo.
yeah, I,
Basta
I
you're willing,
experimented it.
alam mo na yung ay risk to, so kung mawala at least I'll still be okay, 'di
Yes,
ba? Hindi naman life
it's
saving.
still like for me, I'm all about that active income stuff. So because you
Mm.
can really actively grow it. So it's
Yeah.
up to you if you want to grow it or not. So if you're, there's a saying in flipping watches before, parang it's when you buy, that's when you make money. So really have to buy low and sell high.
Got
Find the
it.
right
Got it.
buyer. So
Got it. So
so I just
from
applied that here in Gaan
oh, 'di
with
ba?
a
So
little
so
bit of
from
knowledge and masters and experience from my
yeah.
partners.
So from fitness, equipment to watches and up to today, may watches. And then now you went into plants. Was it something that, I don't know, came natural, or maraming ibang tao nagsabi na, gagawin mo talaga yan? Sure ka ba dyan? How was that process like for you?
Actually, I was the one who was doubtful because I'm
Mm.
actually normally like with my own money, I'm actually pretty risk averse.
Okay, okay. So
Like
very careful about it.
I was very careful at the start. At the start, but when I found the support of my friends and also my family, as well as the masters, parang I believed in myself naman to actually do this. So yun lang naman. In terms of the plans, in terms of market demand, kasi I could you could really track it in Instagram and Facebook.
Mm.
Like you can create a spreadsheet and then you can see like the prices of the plants, how it's going up and going down. So I was
Mm.
pretty like analytical in that sense that I did some sort of parang market analysis. Ano lang, rough lang. Then I said, ooh,
Mm.
you can actually make money if you get the supplier. So parang, and then I ran some feasibility numbers in my head and also to Excel. I ran it through my friends. And then they just said, let's just do it. So parang, huwag ka mag-alala, we're gonna figure it out. So kind of like we're treating GAN as kind of like a startup as well. So we're looking
Mm.
for the products or the trends that we can capitalize on. So not just plants. So it's really also not just a pure business for me, but also a learning and journey. So like the journey of being an entrepreneur. So looking for that product or that service that you can provide that's gonna make fun. So yeah. So parang like for me, just I'm fortunate enough to be in a position that I can risk. Uh,
Mm.
so like I think in this age you should risk. Kasi wala pa
Kasi
naman
bata pa
asawa
eh,
and
kaya pa.
everything. Kaya pa.
Yeah.
So
So, meron ka, I don't know if you have it with you there, no? And I'm sure maraming natatanong na ngayon. So, thank you sina Chernerish, Angie, DY, for the halo-halos. And I think most people are
thanks for
wondering,
the
parang,
halo halo.
nangyari? Oh, well, for you, but when you started out with plants, I don't know if you have a certain plant there na, yung ba yung first mo naging, I don't know, do you have there like, what was one of the first few plants that made you say, na, uy, parang gusto ko talaga to, or, uy, this is really something that's interesting for me.
Actually, uh, I don't have that one plant, pero like
Mm.
I have some few plants that I really, really
Sige, baka
I'm
you
good
can
at
show a bit.
selling.
You
Yeah,
can
actually, yeah.
show one muna, o isa-isa muna, para isa-isa tayo, pakonti-konti, para,
Yeah, actually, one of our best sellers is actually this, which is the
okay.
Ficus lairata bambino.
Mm.
So this is one of the plants that were really trending in Instagram and Facebook. So parang we also capitalized on that. So
Mm.
usually we found the supplier,
Ba't siya
have a bit
naging
of
uso?
margin.
Ba't yan? What about it makes it so nice?
Well, it actually hindi lang siya halata here, pero when you display it in your home, it actually elevates your space. So and it's also a really nice pet for some reason. So that's one of the things. And then may customer lang sa labas, pero one of the awesome plans that we also have here, kasi yung bana natin. That's actually
Walk through
pretty.
tour tayo.
I'll just get it. Uh, so here, this is the Stefania erecta, which is actually one of our
Mm.
best sellers when we started. So
Mm.
kind of like the Ficus Lairata Bambino, if you add this with like one of the pots here, it actually elevates the space talaga. If you put it in your living room. So those are the things that I like selling. That stuff that makes your place really nice. And in addition, you can actually sell gift plants as gifts, and it's a
Mm.
gift that keeps on giving if it grows. But if it dies, kind of sad. Pero like that's one of the reasons why din na parang masaya because it's a different kind of gift. You have to take care of it, and then it makes your
Oo.
place look nice. And there's this like unquantifiable feeling that you get when you get a nice plant in your house and it grows.
Mm.
Uh,
Si ano, one of our Facebook viewers, si Rio, sabi niya, Sir Dan, ang sarap siguro mag-coffee
what's
with
up?
books dyan sa place mo.
Nako, we'll figure that out soon. No? But
Oh,
actually, you're not alone. Like, ang dami nagko-comment, can you take coffee there? Oh, not yet, not yet. We'll get there. We'll get
so that's baka a new thing, no? Kasi mukha ngang nice. I mean, like, when you're surrounded with so many plants. You mentioned that, what do you mean by, you elevate the space? Ano yung sabihin na?
there. Yeah, one of my partners in Gaan kasi is a curator. So he
Mm.
arranges space, curates, kind of like interior design, pero not formally trained. So
Mm.
parang curation. And then we figured out also that plants really elevating a space, making it like look good, and at the same
Mm.
time it changes the space. So although although mahirap siya i-grasp, pero once the plants are there kasi you really feel that it adds a different element to the room.
Oh.
It adds a little bit of warmth, a little bit of pizzazz to the place. So that's what we sell here in Ghana. So we can also
Mm.
help, curate stuff in people's houses. So if you check out the IG, meron photos that are gonna come soon from people's
Mm.
houses. That's also one of the reasons why we also sell vessels and pots. So
Mm.
to complement the space as well. Sometimes people don't even put plants there.
Gets. Ito, I've always been curious, no? Kasi I remember reading somewhere na like the plant also has, I don't know, I think it's a question like, do plants also have like a spirit ba, or do they feel? Kasi there was this thing I read before, no, na parang, I don't know if this is real, no? Parang yung mga article lang na they did this experiment on two plants, right? Yung isa, parang sinisigawan, yung parang galit.
Uh,
Kasi sisigawan mo yung plant, tapos yung isa parang malambing ka, and you're really talking to the plant in a warm way, and then one of them daw yung sinisigawan parang medyo nag-wilt daw. So I don't know what you think about like the plant having like emotion ba, or spirit, or whatever you want to call that, no?
Actually, plants can feel stuff. That's true.
Mm.
Like before, I wasn't really, we really didn't care. Pero when I started taking care of plants, and when I also have, syempre meron na akong personal collection of plants at home.
Mm-hmm.
As in, legit, makikita mo, pag hindi mo sa nila diniligan or nilagaan, magtatampo talaga, like, the leaves will, like, really go down. And then, like, for example, if you hit it, if matamaan mo, magkakaroon siya ng pasa, nasa sunburn siya, the leaves get burned.
Mm.
I really think they can feel stuff, but I don't think it just, parang I don't think they have, like, a pain or nerves, but I really feel that the plant can, like, know when it's not being taken care or not.
Mm.
So especially with some of the plants here in Medyo Masela, you just put them in a different spot, they die. Like
Mm.
legit, you put them here versus there, and then there it dies. Here it doesn't die. And then for example, yun nga, mainit, you know, you need to you need to increase the frequency of watering. So from once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. And if you miss that, the leaves will literally from parang nakatayo, they will go down. You'll be like, what?
Mm.
Oh, that's weird. So they're actually
Yes.
really pets. Sa totoo lang. So they're nice looking pets that don't talk back to you. So
Mm.
I don't know if that's also good.
Gets.
If you talk to
And
them,
ano,
don't just listen.
you mentioned it kanina, no, but like something about, is it being part of like having a green thumb? Like kasi I know of some people na they really research, do everything, pero hindi talaga, no? And then there are others na like before, actually I think I believe like my lola before, whatever she touches, grave. I mean, it would really sprout out, or
Mm.
just her taking care of this space in her house for a few days, biglang nag-flourish eh. Na hindi
Oh
ko alam if
wow.
it's something to do with, yun nga, when you say green thumb, parang is it like an aura ba, or do the plants feel ba na, oy, this person really takes care of us, ganyan?
I think there's no. I mean, there is a such thing as a green thumb, but I don't think
Mm.
there's like an opposite of that. Parang
Mm.
we talked about this backstage kanina. Na parang most of there are mistakes that newbie people do in taking care
Mm.
of plants. Usually it's in the soil media or overwatering or underwatering. So
Okay.
they just have to get that part right, and then the plant will actually just grow. Just take care of it as a normal thing. And then sometimes
Mm.
it really just dies because of sickness. Pero just like in all things in life, you just try and try until you get it right. Some people are just gifted in things that get it right the first time around, especially also in business. You know,
Mm.
and then some people succeed like on the third try or the fourth try. So it's kind of like just the same. So you just have to get the right amount of sunlight and water,
Mm-hmm.
the right amount of circumstances, and especially the soil media. Actually, interestingly, we found that most of the people that say that things die on them, it's actually because of they don't use the right soil media. So it's either the soil doesn't drain well, so the roots rot, or they
Mm-hmm.
use like very clay soil, which retains water, then which is sometimes is not good for the plant. So, yun
Yes.
lang.
So it's finding the right soil for the specific plant. Kasi minsan yung ibang
Yes,
plants okay with this soil, yung ibang plants hindi okay with that soil. So
yes.
so sa lahat ng mga
There's a lot of
nakikinig
like,
diyan, ay, sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
there's a lot of stuff in Instagram lately about like aroid mixes, garden mixes. Actually, dun pa lang, if you get that, that's my only one tip. If you get that right, the plant will live. So, tapos
Mm,
tingnan na lang, every day kung like it's sad. If it's sad, probably sunlight or water na lang yung intindihin mo.
gets. So ano lang yan, just take notes sa lahat ng mga nakikinig. So one of the main reasons, what statistic did you give ulit? Yung number of, from all the plants that die, I think something
Parang
about
I
8 out
think
of
around
10.
80, yeah,
Yeah,
80%.
about
Yeah,
80% died because
it's
of
because of the soil.
the soil. So
Yeah,
not having the right soil, or I guess I don't know. You also need to
soil
like
media. Yeah, the fertilizer
or
and everything.
putting the fertilizer every, I don't know, every, do you do it every month or
Every
every,
month. So yeah,
you have to kind of add or change or do something with the soil.
gradually.
Mm,
Saka hindi rin agad-agad. Usually yun din yung problem. You want to solve things really quickly. Um, so you make drastic changes agad naman. So, sometimes
mm.
nasho-shock yung plans. So,
Gets. So kailangan you ease it in. No? So
yeah,
parang tao lang, hindi pwedeng
parang
biglain, di
tao lang,
ba?
parang business lang din, small changes. Yeah.
Gets. So thank you ulit to sina Isa, Mari Ramos, Emery, good morning. User 127, Laika. Ano yung Laika pa dito? I am Walida Shawi. Thank you for the halo-halo so far. No? So, I guess going back to yung sa plants. So, I think would be nice rin for, let's say, sa mga newbie plant owners dyan. So, I also have a plant. I'm also a newbie plant
What's your
owner.
plan? What's your plan?
Ito kasi got from my dad to. Sabi, uy, para naman may buhay tong room mo.
Oh, it's a
Ganun.
snake plant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
snake plant. Tapos meron pa akong, wait, kunin ko mamaya, yung money
Ay,
tree.
ang ganda nung line ng dad mo. Like, para may buhay yung room.
Oo.
Yeah.
So,
Para may light.
ano ba yung
Life.
mga, like, yung mga normal, tao dito, mga common mistakes to avoid? So, you mentioned one is the soil, right? And it's really, what other things kaya yung baka magkamali? Kasi bago pa lang to kaya mukha ko siyang buhay. Pero di ako sure kung after a few weeks, wala na to.
If you're also using lots of aircon, baka pwede, the room might be too dry. So you need to spray it with some water once in a while. So humidity, so that's another thing. And then sunlight. So most indoor plants want bright indirect sunlight. So what does that mean?
Direct
Not
sun.
the super direct, but like, indirect sunlight. So parang meron din tsambahan din if your house or if your room is like located like optimally in terms of sunlight. For example, morning sun. Lahat ng lahat ng halaman maganda. Pag yung morning sun or morning indirect light.
Morning
So may
more than
tsambahan ding
afternoon.
aspect.
Yung mas okay.
Yeah, the
Ganun ba yun?
afternoon is a bit harsh. Yeah, afternoon is a bit harsh.
So it's more morning sun. Okay. So common. So, and then there's this thing about overwatering and underwatering. Yun yung medyo nahihirapan ako to understand. How would you know which one it is? Kasi parang either way, they'll both look bad, di ba? Kung sumobra or bitin.
Well, as a good rule of thumb, like it's easier to babalik din tayo sa soil media. If your soil media is good, it'll just drain properly if you overwater. Pero around two or like once or twice a week is good. Or parang 3 times a week pag nag-init. So, and then if sumobra ka, it'll just drain. So, the first step coincides with the water tip. So, proper soil media. Especially for some aroids that are like prone to root rot. So parang tawag doon yung sakit, root rot. Masyado madaming tubig. Parang
Too much na. Okay.
Nagpa-pond yung tubig. Yes. Makikita mo naman eh. Pero what the good thing is you can always try to save the plant naman. Basta you keep you look at it once in a while, once every other day.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Kaya man, if the
Well, what you
leaves have
have
been
there
looked.
naman yung snake. Yeah, yung snake plant mo naman is pretty resilient. It can go like weeks without water. So
Yun nga eh. Parang mga once a week daw. Parang mga ganun. I don't know if that's is
yeah,
correct.
once a week. Yes.
Gets. Okay, so for our viewers, we have about mga 1,400 on Kumu. If you have any
Wow, that's a
questions
lot.
about, yeah, if you have any questions about mga plants, nandiyan na si Dan
Or
to
also
help you
my
guys out.
journey as an entrepreneur. I'm actually
Oo.
I was just talking to Enrique about it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this is my
Go ahead,
first
go
like
ahead.
legit venture. So parang it's really a journey for me. So I'm learning things along the way, and even in
Mm.
terms of handling the finances of the business. So I'm also learning things along the way.
Yeah. Yung when you started out, di ba you have, sorry, tama, two other partners, no?
Three, yes.
Sorry, three other partners. Paano nag-start? Like, how did you all decide na, hey, let's all do business together? And then how were the roles split? Parang, how did that process go ba?
Ah, Me, Doc Glenn, and Prim, we're actually involved together in a project called the Emergency Quarantine Facilities during the pre-pandemic. So we already had like some experience
Oh.
working together, and then
Ah,
after that,
AIM to? Under AIM? Hindi. Parang emergency
no,
volunteer
it's kind of
thing.
like a volunteer thing. So afterwards,
Mm.
we thought, what else can we do together? Because we already worked together, and then we saw the market where we can capitalize on the plans, and then we decided to make it legit. Pero essentially, we treated our roles as kind of like a startup. So pero we still have designation. So
Mm.
Prim Python is our parang marketing and product development. So the ones who chooses the which products to get. And then
Mm.
we kind of also have like an overlap with Doc Lin. He's kind of like our chief executive officer, or parang the person that steers the ship. So I'm more
Oh.
of operations. Actually, medyo conflict eh. I operate and then I also do the finance. So
So
medyo
both. Medyo,
both. And then Ariel does all the tech stuff, all the website, and the Instagram and the photo shoots, in coordination with the marketing. So, and then he also kind of operates them. So those are the kind of like medyo agile roles.
mm.
Well, because when you start a business, I think everybody would know that you would actually really have to do everything at the start.
Mm.
So even at
Parang
the
get your
start
hands
when we
dirty
didn't
talaga,
have a
ano? Get your
yeah
hands dirty, do
when
everything, no?
wala pa yung we only have one employee at the moment. When wala pa yung employee namin, we were the ones naghahakot
Diyan.
ng soil, ako yung nagdidilig, kami nagmi-miss. And then recently when we started selling pots that we get from Pampanga, we restore from Pampanga. Kami na rin nagpe-paint, so we're the ones who painted manually. So everything you see in the Instagram shop were actually handmade and hand painted by us. So sa pots.
Mm.
Mm.
Galing. And the
So
other
we're
guys,
really hands on.
oo. So the other partners, do they also have other businesses or may day jobs ba sila? Or
Yes, actually, si Doc Glenn, the ophthalmologist, is a doctor, and he also owns the Big Fish Place. So that's parang
mm,
one of the like parang mga rare fishes. So we're beside them here in White Plains. Ariel is
yes.
a tech dev. So he's a app and web developer. So he currently has two jobs plus Gaan
Mm.
and another
So
business.
third. So third na yung gaan pa or
Four,
fourth?
yeah, third
Fourth.
day in Gaan. And then
Oh.
Prim is actually executive director in the Asian Institute of Management for Startups. So yung Dado Banato
Mm.
Incubator. So ako na yung
Yes.
pinaka parang like mentee nila. So ako yung parang pinaka
Galing. You're the
junior.
youngest.
So
You're the youngest
I'm the
from that group.
youngest, and yeah, and I'm the one who learns from them, from their experience. So it's also nice because we're also navigating through this pandemic and parang
Mm.
through this startup journey together. So we're still looking for that, that product that we can really, that can really bring in revenue that we can scale as well. So yun naman yung
Yes.
usual na issue ng business.
Oh, and when you guys started out, were you selling plants na ba on the side or did you start ito na, yung may store na kaagad?
Oh, actually, what happened was we started selling a bit online. Online. to
Mm.
check for market demand, and then parang probably like a month in, store na agad. So
Oh,
pretty
wow.
wild.
Bilis din, ah. So,
Pero the store took a while to build because of the pandemic, obviously,
yeah.
because of the delays of the pandemic. Pero when we decided store na, game na.
Yes. Anong
So
month
it
yun?
was a
Parang
bit,
we have a timeline, no? So, when was that?
we conceptualized this siguro 2020, end of 2020.
End na. Okay, okay.
Oh, end of 2020, and then it was nabuo siya March 2021.
Okay, ito na yung game
2021.
plan. Ito na yung gawin natin. This is how we're gonna make money. This is how it's gonna operate. Lahat yung mga yan. Okay. And then
Yeah,
the store opened when exactly? Anong month yun?
April 2021.
So April. So that was that was kasi nagka-lockdown ulit nung March, di ba?
Yeah. Uh,
So nung medyo nag-open up ulit, doon na kayo nag-open. And then now, ano yan,
yes.
it's based, ever since then, it's like you reserve ba to go? How does it work?
Oh, you can just come by. Or you can also
Mm.
message if you want a private viewing. Just message on IG.
Mm.
Pero yeah, it's pretty crazy kasi it was really quick when we decided that parang, syempre, it was just in your head, 2020. It was just a
Yeah.
concept. So have it designed, concept, have it, drawn by an architect and a designer, and then, syempre, pandemic delays. Pero um, when we decided to do it talaga, ang bilis, like 1 month, the structure was done na kasi nga wala din naman masyadong
Wow.
traffic.
Sino ba yung, ano ba
So,
yung nandyan dati? Yung sa spot na yan, bago kayo? Or
it
wala?
was
Was it
actually
blank?
just a storage area lang for the big
Okay.
fish place. Yes.
Did you have to demolish to construct, or paano did you just refurbish
Oh,
the existing structure?
we just took the roof off, and then we put the greenhouse, and then we renovated the insides
Mm.
with sustainable materials. So, as yung mga kahoy dito are actually old Meralco posts,
Ang
repurposed
galing.
Meralco posts.
Ang
So we
galing.
try to be
Okay.
as sustainable as we can, where we
Mm.
can,
So
in our
kasi
products.
I mean the question we had like from the start of this was, does money grow on trees, no? And I'm sure to even start this business, marami ring pera kailangan, di ba? So
Yes,
how
yes.
was that? How was that process? Like, did you ask family and friends? Meron bang isang partner na nag-shoulder ng cash, tapos yung iba sweat equity? Paano nangyari sa inyo yun?
Actually, yeah. That was one of the issues starting out, especially we're young.
Oo,
Wala
any
pa tayo
business
masyadong
yun.
ipon.
Capital, di ba?
So
Oo.
so essentially, I put all my savings in, plus I ask my family and friends. So
Mm.
sabi nga nila 3 Fs, di ba? Family, friends, and fools. That invest in startup. So
Oo.
essentially, so my half is FFF. And then si Doc Len already has income and Prim.
Mm.
And actually, all the three founders, they have, I don't know,
Their
significant cash
own,
flow.
I mean, kasi they're
Uh,
more senior na talaga. They've had more time to really grow their money. Okay.
yeah, for me naman, I had to go through the process nga of, this is my life savings,
Oo.
emergency fu- emergency funds, of course, six
So
months.
set aside naman, meron ka naman.
Six
Outside of
months, wala na yan.
higaan investment.
Hindi ko alam yung password dyan. Like, sobrang hirap puntahan.
Magaling,
Hindi
magaling.
siya, hindi siya nakakonect sa online banking.
Oo,
So,
tama.
take that out. And then, yan na. Then ask.
Mm.
Gets mo? Yeah, wala kailangan eh. So,
So,
you actually have to get people to believe in you then. Believe in the brand.
yeah.
And then show them that you're actually putting in the work. And that's when they're going to give you a loan, or parang,
Mm.
to help you out as well. Kasi at the end of the day, it's the value of the founder and the brand, rather than, people have to believe in you first before they give you money.
Oo. So
Uh,
paano yun? Kasi like, so syempre, ito, may life savings ka na, no? Pero I
uh,
guess it wasn't enough ba? Or you, parang kulang siya sa yung proportionate share na gusto mo? Or na
yeah,
kailangan
yeah,
ng business? So, ano
yeah.
yun, you went to your parents, ano, did they like jump on it na, oh, sige, go? Or was it like, mahabang usapan na
Oh,
to get them
of
to
course,
trust?
of course, mahabang usapan,
Oo, oo.
syempre. Pero you also have to actually really convince them to believe in
Mm.
you. So I think because of my track record naman, and also the potential of the founders. Kasi my mentors are there. So parang kampante sila
Mm,
that we will do well. So that's also the
mm.
reason why you should find the right partners in your business. And
Okay.
also, you can't really do it alone. It's harder to do it alone because gets mo, nasa iyo lang nakasalalay.
Mm.
Pero if you have mentors and partners, you can also have their experience and their talent to back you up and to parang say
Oo.
na parang it's gonna be okay. He's with this guy. He's with this guy. Parang
Hmm,
and since we worked together before Pagaan and we
mm.
have a bond in EIM because we're also classmates. So parang medyo compatible din yung people. Okay, okay. They seem that they have their stuff together. They seem that you know, they have the potential naman to pay this back if ever loan. So mix naman siya ng hingi sa ano and loan. So I'm gonna pay them back eventually. So
Galing,
over
galing.
some time.
Okay. There's this ano there was this conversation ito about partners, no? Na si Anton, my younger brother, had on his podcast a few weeks ago na do you think you should be business partners with friends or parang maghanap ka muna ng partners at tsaka na kayo maging friends? Given your experience so far, what do you think about that?
Actually, it's quite different from my perspective because I went into an environment that people are actually in that zone of creating something new, either a business or a
Parang
startup.
thinking of business na like when you go to AIM kasi 'di ba parang this is a business course, everyone kind of
Yes,
wants to get in on the business. Okay, okay.
and then I went there, but I think more than anything, it was actually even the trust in terms of na-build kasi yung trust through the school and through the group
Mm.
works and
Kasi
through the work. So parang
may experience na working together na kaagad before anything
yes,
sagad.
and I think the friends thing you can come into it as friends if you know how the work ethic or parang how the person operates na if you have like previous projects
Mm.
and then you parang marriage lang yan or parang relationship eh. There are flaws as well
Oo.
and syempre there are things that they can't do that you should gets what that syempre bigayan din and also yung skill sets
Mm.
I guess if you know that those things with your friends you can work with them in business.
Mm.
Pero most of the time kasi hindi. So parang you're so enamored with an idea with friends. Parang nabubulag kayo. Ano ba yung capacity natin to work well together? Hindi yun yung nakikita. Pero I was fortunate enough to be able to see that. And for them to
Mm.
see that in me as well. Kasi,
Yeah.
hello, they're believing in somebody who has like zero business acumen.
So
Flipping
parang
stuff lang on Facebook.
you're the young guy na they're betting on din, parang gano'n. Kasi
Yes,
ano
yes, yes,
and you only met in AIM pa lang. Like you weren't friends
yes.
before that, AIM lang.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Pero
Galing, okay.
pero you also have to be friends with your business partners definitely.
Yeah,
Kasi if
definitely.
hindi, yeah, hindi, hindi
Mahirap.
mahirap.
Hindi mo natuloy yan. Okay, so
Uh,
thank you to sina Nelia, I am Carla, Christina. Uy, si Nelia, shinare pa yung live. Kate,
oh wow.
user 126. Thank you sa mga halo-halos na pinapadala so far. So okay, so it was really getting to know each other first. Tapos getting to feel ano yung work ethic nito, ano yung mga
Skills and the
skills
things that
that
they can
they
bring to
can
the table.
bring to the
Uh,
table. Okay. So what were the skills that you thought, okay, ito yung kaya kong i-contribute dito
Kasi at the
sa
start, I really didn't know.
mm,
So it's probably just like an enthusiasm to be able to uh,
mm,
create something or parang create a new brand. And I said naman that I'll try to learn as much as I can. But I think um, when we were operating things, I brought some of the skills I got from engineering and my previous job of business development as well in engineering. Na parang I can analyze data pretty easily. So Excel
mm,
sheets. So I can also analyze trends. And I also have like a kind of like a background in digital marketing
yes.
and the digital aspect of things, that the older people might not be well versed in. So parang
Yes.
making the
Yun yung nadala mo.
ads,
Okay,
creating the website.
ito
This
yung
is how
added
we sell
value ko.
online. Yeah, this is how we get so like those things that
Yeah.
like not necessarily that they can't do, but they're just tamad to do. Or parang
Yes.
that's not anymore their the responsibility to learn. So it's parang for us to wield na parang the technology
Mm.
aspect of it. So parang I can bridge that aspect of thinking of what to buy, or also I'm also good at like operating. So like for example,
Mm.
if you have an idea, we can do it. So parang following
Yes,
instructions. So
yes.
parang
Kasi
yung mga list na kailangan gawin, just do everything.
oh, I mean that takes a different kind of person eh. Yung mga broad visionary, yung big ideas, tas to do the nitty-gritty operations is a whole new different skill set, di ba? Na parang
Yes.
there are people who are good at these big ideas, pero once they operate, parang ay, they miss out on these details. Or ibang tao na okay lang, I don't need, I mean, just tell me ano yung direction natin, tapos I'll make sure the smaller, finer things are properly taken care of. No? So for you, it's
So
more on
what's
yan
good
sa operations, sa finance. Ay, sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what's actually what I'm working on is, operational finance, the two things that I'm weak on. So hopefully I can get better in those aspects. Because like what you said, the grand vision and stuff, that's where I'm good at. So that's where I wasn't
Mm,
positioned. So usually, di ba, baliktad, you get positioned kung saan ka magaling. So
mm,
ganyan, baliktad naman, doon ako nilagay kung saan ako magaling. So I can work in
yes.
those aspects as well. So
Oh, were you part of like, kaya like the well, I don't really know what it means. Eh. Like when you say Gaan is a concept store, ano ba yung
um,
sabihin from like a like
plant
from an
plant
average.
concept store. Parang
Oh,
kumbaga we sell anything that helps that's from the ground. So well, ang gaan kasi it's actually hilagay nun for word for to give.
to
So
give.
essentially
Ah, so iba to sa
anything that you
gaan.
can give.
Iba yun. Yung magaan. Iba na yun. Ibang word to. Gaan. It's a
Yeah,
different.
pero gaan in Tagalog is actually, light, ease,
Yeah.
comfort. So parang anything that can add to that. So we were purposely very broad about it. So that's
Mm,
also, it might be a disadvantage in terms of brand. Pero we feel that since we kind of want to do more and not just sell plants,
mm,
and we purposely created that brand. So parang it's kind of like out there. So plant concept shop, we sell plants, yes. We sell pots, yes. Sell soil media, pero that's just our core base. Parang yung core business mo, parang pinaka fundamental. Pero we seek to add to that, to have different products and services in the future. So one of the things that we're looking on is actually um, curating. So we can also do that in the future, curating ng spaces
mm.
inside with the plants. So we're looking to expand to those horizons. So parang we thought that GAN would be a nice way to just encompass
Oo.
what we think. So it's more of like a value, more than just like a generic na parang plant store. PH.
Gets.
Uh,
So para naman it can encompass other things beyond just
yes.
direct
Yes.
plant
Sabi
selling.
nga nung isa, di ba, coffee shop? Pwede.
Oh.
Oh,
So that's a new
pwede.
idea. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're doing this, and you're doing this, you're already full time here, no? How does it work? Do they give you like a salary because you're operating, or do you have to? Hindi, hintay na lang ako sa dividends at the end of the year. How does it work now?
Actually, yeah. They actually compensate me for my time.
For the daily, ano,
Yes,
got it,
yes, yes.
got
Pero,
it.
syempre, since nahihiya ka sa sarili mo that you're taking money from this kind
Hindi
of
mo
like,
naman sobrang,
yeah,
yung
it's
sakto lang.
exactly for your needs. So,
Gets.
kasi syempre, you
Okay.
kind of want to free up some capital for you to be able to get more products and to
Yeah.
put it in different settings.
Yes. So right now, you guys are already doing all of these things, the plants, the soil, the pots, and you mentioned one of them already. I don't know if you have other things that you're looking at in the future. So there's curating spaces. Are there other things that you're looking at? I don't know, in the next year or so for GAN.
The next year, yes, actually, we're also looking into probably propagating more rare plants. So we're gonna have a section in
Mm,
our area to have those really high-end exotic plants. We're gonna see if we're gonna have some luck in that. Um, we're also trying to explore yun nga, maybe looking for trying to explore on if we can have this place set up for other for product launches, some other different revenue streams as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're also looking to collaborate with other local brands. Kasi that's actually madami kaming ka-collaborate na other local brands
Mm,
uh, in community. So we're looking for different products that we can, bring to the market from those communities as well that we think are fit sa brand namin and our aesthetic and design. Of course, we're still going to sell plans, and then ayun, we're looking towards basically trying to look for that thing that can help us scale bigger. Kasi
mm,
syempre, you don't get it right the first time around. Pero we're lucky naman enough. We're lucky enough naman to have survived these past few months, especially when even
yeah.
the you know the economy is like opening up. So hopefully hindi tayo ma-micro ng todo.
Yeah, kasi I mean, for you guys to launch a business like this, that also has brick and mortar, no? Amidst a pandemic is already, I mean, the fact that you're still here, di ba? Ang
Yeah,
dami
yeah.
nagsara na negosyo left and right, no? So,
Mm.
for those who are thinking of maybe setting up a business, whether it's a plant business or, any business in general, ano ba yung mga mabigay mo para mga tips or
Okay.
mga
Start
things that
small.
you think? Oo.
Start small. The reason why we were kind of bold enough naman to do this is because my partners had some money to invest, and
Mm.
we also tested the market before.
May
So
online, pure
we
online naman kayong part, di ba? Na let's just
yes,
try
there was a pure
the
online,
face.
super low cost. Actually, halos walang cost. Eh. So sometimes you
Mm.
just direct type from your supplier to the
Ganun lang. Oo, it's just
uh,
may usapan lang kayo na, bibili ako, sige, bibili ako.
yeah,
Benta ako dito.
yeah.
Yes.
There's like
Start
kind of
small.
like parang drop shipping. Parang
Mm-mm.
you're just a glorified middleman.
Yeah.
Pero this time around kasi may value added na. So the experience of shopping and curation.
Mm-mm.
Start small, and even if you have a brick and mortar business, or if you're for example, kasi mura din yung mga rent and yung mga bazaar lately, they're giving
Mm.
really good deals, so you might be tempted to do that. Do it, pero do that after you actually prove that you can create revenue through your products, and as well as you get your marketing done. So parang
Yes.
the advice is probably around like gumagana ka na for like a month or 3 months, small time, so that you just know the flow
Before.
of the money,
Yeah.
so that you know how much you need to put in, or parang you
Mm-mm.
know how much you need to create, and then you
Yes.
can parang you can slowly creep up your expenses. You can allocate some of the expenses now properly.
Mm-mm.
So
Mm-mm.
ayun, that's what I learned lang then from being kasi diba I told you one of our partners
Galing.
is a startup guy,
So
so
yun talaga
executive director
yung
na.
main, ano
Yeah,
niya,
it's really keep
main
your
advice.
costs low, keep your costs really really low, and then you like really look for that product that's gonna get you that revenue.
Gets.
So
Okay.
first, so yun muna, paikutin mo muna, and then you can slowly add in costs. And
Yeah.
then if you can scale that, especially if yung cost mo will catapult your revenue, that's when you actually go for it. So
Yes. So no, we have actually mga last 5 minutes. I don't know. Where can they
wala.
find you? Gaan, just let everyone know here on Kumu, pati Facebook ko na. Okay, parang nagustuhan ko tong kwento na to, or I want to know more about this concept store, this, where can we find you? Where can we learn more about yan, yung ginagawa niyo dyan sa Gaan?
Oh yeah, so guys, I'll follow Gaan PH on IG. Also on Facebook, we're located along Katipunan Avenue near White Plains. So yeah, I'll show you guys around again. So this is the cabin. So we have a Christmas tree. Merry Christmas.
Nag-receive ba? Ayos
Merry
ah.
Christmas, Rama. So yeah, we have over 150 species of plants. This
Wow.
is our employee, Ate Jonah. So you guys can come by here anytime. You can drop by, and you can also check out our website and our IG. Just DM us, ako naman yung sumasagot. If you have any plant questions, pwede naman, just message us. Follow us on IG at GanPH.
Yun,
And
okay.
if you have also questions with regards to my entrepreneur journey, you can also follow me on IG at Dan.
Yun. So if
I
you
won't
want
sell
to
you
have
plants.
plant, if you want plant or even like business or running a business, want tips, check them out, Dan Quiaoit and also Gaan PH. So
Not an expert
direction.
yet. Not an expert yet. Gotta
Oh, no,
learn
but we're all
from
learning. Oh, we're all
Enrico,
learning here.
Enrique, and your mom as well, especially when you have money now.
We're all learning naman here. That's all a learning process. So, direction. You can show us the last few slides, no? Before we end. So, of course, it will not be a money lessons show without this. If you want to learn more about FQ, learning how to manage your money personally, and even for your families and for friends, check out the FQ Mom books. So you see all the books here: Raising Pinoy Boys, children's books, which is Man in Babylon, The Emotional Cycle of Investing, the FQ books 1 and 2, and we actually have a promo. So there's a promo until the end of the year. We have a Christmas promo, which is free shipping for a minimum order of 999. So this applies to all to Philippine addresses only. So one more time,
Get it,
till
get it.
end of the year. Till end of the year, go to fqmom.com. You click buy books. You see the lower left, there's a buy books button. And if you buy about 999 pesos worth or more, you will get free shipping as long as it's anywhere in the Philippines. So as with always, every week, tune in. There is an article as well as a podcast that comes out every Wednesday on the FQ Mom channels. Um, and also, we have Kumus every Thursday morning. So thank you for all those who joined us for the day. There's also FQ Mom YouTube channel. And if you go to the next slide, check out sister companies, brand them. So brand them is where you want to seek career clarity and direction. If you want to deal with personal branding, check them out. And as for me, I'm the one dealing a lot with the financial architecture division within IFE, where we make investing for everyone. So we're here to help you talk about the elephant in the room. So check out our social media channels at IFE Management on Instagram, IFE Management on Facebook. And we recently launched a YouTube channel, IFE Management, as well as a TikTok, which is
Oh my God.
surprisingly blowing up. And we're also on TikTok. But it's me personally, Enrique Fausto dot
Should I get on that?
ano, feeling ko download the app first, tapos tingnan mo na muna, no? Medyo ano siya, I have to say it's a bit dangerously addictive.
Okay.
short clips talagang pang
Uh,
ADHD, no? So
yeah.
if you have any other questions, you want to learn more about money, finance, business, and plans, you know where to find us. So thank you again, Dan, for joining us
Thanks for
for
having me,
today.
bro. Salamat. This
Yeah,
is actually my first kind of like talk show.
Kumu,
Yeah, Kusa.
iba rin, no? Iba rin
Dude,
siya, no?
dude. Thanks for
So with
having
that,
me on, bro.
so with that, thank you then to all the last people who gave at the last minute. Enjoy Globe, Flor de Liza, Joy, Exiled Night, Joy Miranda, Annalene, Roland, Riverbends, Amaram, Margaret. Thank you, everyone. This has been Money Lessons with FU Mom and Sons. I'm Enrique Fausto with our guest, Dan Quiaoit. Thank you for watching.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.